What's up YouTube, Del here from Zephyr, and today, technically it's episode 10 of the local experience, but then I think it works out as either episode 11 or episode 12 if you count the specials, being Burst Protocol, Sneak Event, and the UK Open event. Anyway, I went back to Darklords, I took this to locals, I ended up going X1, so I lost one round, and that was basically a double loss. My matchups were... Round 1, I'm just trying to remember these off the top of my head. Round 1 was Goblin Biker Themesmith. Round 2 was Horus Tempai. Round 3 was Elfen Note or Elf Note Themesmith, and then round 4 was Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes Primite. The deck did really well. I was playing the Sulphur Cord version, which I'm going to talk through as I go through it. This is basically going to be a more of an expanded deck profile because I forgot the SD card, so I couldn't record my duels, really annoyingly. And I was running so late this week that I haven't been able to do a pre and post kind of thing. So I'm going to dive headfirst to the profile, show you what we've got, and then at the end of the video, I'll open up the OTS packs I got for getting joint second with this list. So first place was Radiance. Second place, alongside myself, was Vanquish Soul. I think, not Vanquish Soul, sorry. It was Orcust, I think with the Azamina package. And then before I go any further, massive shout out to Leo on this one. So Leo is the one that I get my playmats from, and I've also got some of the border sleeves I get from him as well. So he's got these awesome like matte finish sleeves, and I'm debating what deck to put these on. Like to me, it looks like it favors either Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, or just like Dragon Rulers. It's kind of like a Sea Serpent-esque and a Fire Dragon. So these are really cool, so I can't wait to try them out. Anyway, I'm going to take you straight through the profile, show you what we've got like now. I haven't organised my deck as of yet, so apologies on that one. But the idea is I just want to try and like lay out the cards that I used. So we've got the Sulphur Cord package. I'll talk through that in a second, which was 3, 3, 1 and 1. I'll start off by talking about that, to be fair. So I know that I'm trying to figure out, this was all really new to me. So I hadn't played the Sulphur Cord package before. I like what it does for you going first because it sets you up that Omni Negate, and you do play 2 cards in the extra deck, being, wherever it may be, the Grand Sulphur Cord Coolia and Musilia. I don't know, there's pros and cons to it all. I was tempted between this and the Melodious package. Now, Melodious packages, you need to control no monsters, whereas technically the only card you need to control no monsters for is the Sulphur right here. I feel that this package could be made less, and by less, I would probably say you'd be looking at something like this. Even though this is good to discard and search out 2 Pendulums, which is absolutely fine, I think you would either go for something like this, and the reason I would do this is because then I still maintain my number of fairy monsters for Herald of the Orange Light, which is like a massive MVP. If you're playing Darklords and not playing Herald of the Orange Light, you're missing out. Like, that card cooks so hard. I found myself siding this engine out. So when I was going second, I was like, I don't actually need this engine. Like, it's great for going first, because what you do is sometimes without your normal summon, you can set up your Omni Negate off of the back of this, going into this, and then you're pretty much safe. Like, you don't need to worry about your Herald Orange Light or anything else like that. And that all comes from this plus a discard. And I still haven't figured out the combo off of the back of this one yet. But like this on its own, I believe, should get combo. But I haven't, like I said, I haven't fully tested it. I was also playing another small fairy package, which I kept in whether I was going first or second. And that was the Canby package. And I actually didn't mind this one. So you play 3 Canby, 1 Trickstar, Nightshade. So the idea is this is just like a 4-card mini package that you open up with Canby. And as long as you control no monsters or all of them are fairies, you special summon this down, you tribute it off, you summon out the Nightshade. Nightshade then links off into a Trickster links 1, and then because it was used as link material for a Trickster monster, it comes back. And the whole idea of that one is that it gets you into your Condemned Darklord. Like, that's kind of what you're trying to push for, to bridge you in. I get that this can get you into your Omni Negate and can get you into your Darklord as well. So I understand why this is better. But to me, this is an engine that is great for going first. It just enhances your go first state. Going second, what it really provides is if you get to this point through your combo, you're already winning. Like, going second, there's no way you get to this card. Going second, what it does do, however, as long as you can go with the special summons, is there was a couple of times where I actually opened up these 2 cards. And I was like, you know what, I might actually be tempted to play more of this. Not that I would, but I'm just saying. you'd go, because you special summon this, because if you control no monsters or all monsters you control a Sulphur Cord, you can special summon it, and then I'd special summon down Canby, and then use Canby's effect. But this one does play like a couple of bricks that you don't want to see. Like the Canby plays one brick in the form of the Trickstar, and even then if you don't have a normal summon, you can normal summon the Trickstar, and then you still do the exact same combo to get you into your Condemned Darklord, which can get you into Yugioh or Golglet and go from there. Whereas this one, it's like this, you could still normal summon it in search, and you'd search this out, and then that still gets you your combo, so that's pretty much the same. The Promoter can do pretty much the same thing as well. It does give you that Pendulum Summon option, but I actually found more and more that I tested this, I was a lot happier just siding this out for going, like when I was going second. I was like, cool, 8 cards out. And then when I went second, the 8 cards in that I would put in, if I didn't want to put Trill Tactics Frost in, would be Nibiru's, Perulias, and Drolls. So 3 Perulias, 3 Nibiru's, and 2 Drolls. So like they were the cards I was siding in the most. But I'll show you that side deck once I get to it in a minute. So that's your non-engine Darklord card, like non-Darklord cards, which are just basically just your Fairy Extenders, Omni-Negate route, and then just more consistent access to Condemned Darklord. And then let's go for the Darklord cards. So 3 Golglet, 3 Jehuti, and 3 Yugioh. I was on 1 Nasten, 1 Indulged as well. So there's the 3 Golglet. I'm just going to get those all together. We'll go for the spells and that in a minute. 3 Jehuti. 3 Yugioh, 1 Morningstar, and there you go, there's the 3rd Jehuti. So, Golglet, max at 3, there's no question in my mind on that one. Max at 3 of Jehuti, it's like your best normal summon. I do consider that Indulge can be quite decent as well if you do this right, because Indulge can either come off the back of your Jehuti, or it just comes off the back of its own normal summon. But more times than not, you still want to go Jehuti, and then it's like, okay, do I go into Indulged? Indulged would then give my opponent either Golglet or your Yugioh, and then go from there. The only issue that I found is that, like, adding a Golglet is fine. Giving your opponent an Yugioh is also fine, because then you would just link these two together, go into the Condemned Darklord, discard the Golglet. Golglet gets you to Darklord Dance, and then use Darklord Dance to banish the Yugioh you've just given your opponent, and then the Golglet from your graveyard. So you're in a good position. So max out on these, Yugioh maxed out on as well, like the discard to draw effect, plus it's this one and Nasten are the only other ones that have that pay 1,000 life points, recycler, or replicate a Darklord spell or trap in the graveyard. So I'm happy with this. Darklord Monster, you play this, you can play and max out, so you can get the maximum effects off of your first of the Darklord. And then the Nasten is just like completely optional on this one. I like it's having another name. I think it works out fine. You can play the Tespala Poker instead if you wanted to. I decided to go with the Nasten, just because the Nasten has that other effect in hand. If I open up multiple Darklord cards, I can still get another monster to the field. I never saw it, never needed it that way, but it was just kind of nice to have. And this is my 41st card, so you could arguably cut it if you wanted to, but I was quite happy with it. So that's it for the Darklord monsters. For the Darklord spells, pretty straightforward on this one. And traps. So, well, apart from the enchantment, but I'll talk about that in a minute. So you've got the 1 contact, you've got the 1 dance, 1 rebellion, 1 enchantment, and then 3 banishment. So banishment is your rotor. I think that's pretty straightforward and simple. I don't need to go over that one. Contact is your monster reborn. Again, I don't need to go over that one, and neither do I really need to go over dance. Rebellion is the non-target destruction, and I chose to go for enchantment instead of sanctified. It was just one of these ones that constantly being able to snatch steal my opponent's monsters just made it very, very awkward from them. There were times where I was like, okay, I wish I had sanctified as well, but I don't know if I would main all 3. Like, I've done a build where I main 2, which were these 2 here. I then main 3. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't exactly what I was aiming for, and then I've gone back to building 2. Now, I can't imagine that I would do enchantment. Like, most people are either rebellion plus enchantment or rebellion plus sanctified. And, I mean, personally, I just think enchantment is really, really good. Non-target snatch steal, I know it's only until the end of the turn, but the fact that it can attack and do everything you need to and be used as fodder, I think it puts in a lot of work, so I was quite happy with it, to be honest. And then carrying on with the non-engine cards. So for the non-engine monsters, this is the only hand interaction I was playing was 3 Herald of the Orange Light. Now, another thing you'll notice in a second when I go through them is that I was playing no hand traps other than those cards right there. And I mean, I would like to say there was a direct reason for it, but honestly, I don't think there was. It was more so, like, I don't see the point in playing Fua if you go above, like, 41 cards a bit of a stretch, but if you go to like 45, if you were to say to me, put 4 in and play a 44 card deck, I'd be like, no, I'd much rather play 3 Ash Blossom instead of that. The Ash Blossom was a little bit risky, but I never felt that there was a time where I like absolutely needed it at my environment. And in place of playing those Ash Blossoms and everything else, I was playing 3 Fawn and the Virtuous, 1 Forbidden Droplet and 1 Forbidden Crown. Like, I was kind of happy with these. Both of these are like very easily searchable. So I'm quite happy with the 1-on-1 on this one. And then Fawn and the Virtuous is just so incredibly good. Like, such a great breaker, but also a great card you can set. The final card that you could arguably cut if you wanted to, but massive shout out to Rio, who was at the UK Open, and he got this idea from someone in Germany at YCS 300. So it's kind of like something that's followed on. But this is Double Wild. For those of you unfamiliar with what Double Wild does, it lets you target a level 5 or lower monster you control. You add a level 10 monster from the deck to the hand with the same original type, so fairy, right? Then you can discard a card, and if you do, you special summon 1 monster from the hand with the same type in Defense Vision. Now, the reason this is so good is if, for example, your opponent was to interact with your Jehuti. So there's a couple of different bridges that I'll show you now, right? But the idea is the card you're going to want to target 99.999% of the time is going to be your Jehuti, right? What that will let you do is that will let you grab your Darklord Yugioh. Okay? And then at that point on, you could discard a card. So if you had a Golglet, you could discard the Golglet and you could summon down your Yugioh. If you've got a Darklord banishment or anything else in between, you can use banishment. You can use Yugioh to replicate the banishment. You've got your 2 here to go into your condemned Darklord. You've also got the 2 here that if you were to activate, for example, Darklord Dance and your opponent bells it, you go, okay, cool, I can then use Yugioh to replicate the dance. So actually putting a lot of work. Another mini bridge that sometimes you can go for is off the back of the Indulged Darklord, but you can also go on a bridge off of the back of the Herald of Orange Light. Now, in really bad scenarios, and I actually had to do this once today, I opened up like 2 Herald of the Orange Lights and then 2 spells and a double wild. I had to, Nibiru I think it was. So I normal summoned the Herald of the Orange Light, activated double wild, targeting this, and grabbed myself another fairy, which was Yugioh, and I had a Darklord trap in the hand, so I used Yugioh to discard that trap and then build plays on from there. So I think it comes up quite nicely. It put in a nice little bit of work. You don't always need to special summon the monster. More times than not, it's just nice to add that Yugioh, and then, like I said, you've got the Yugioh for the draw, or you can summon that Yugioh, or technically you can summon like a Golglet. So if you're already hard open on Golglet, you could discard the Yugioh, and then you can summon down the Golglet, and the Golglet will then give you 2 tokens. So you're getting everything you need. So that's it for the entire main deck, a flat out 40 cards there. Moving on to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I've already kind of gone over the Grand Sulphur Chords. So you've got your Link 2, and the idea is that you work your way up into the Link 3, and this is your Omni Negate by pushing up one of your Sulphur Chord scales into a zone that it points to, and then that gives you your negation when your opponent activates a monster effect. Condemned Darklord, shout out to Rob on this one. It's a sun-bleached copy. Not something that's very unique or anything, it's very easily done, but it was just kind of cool that he had this, and I was like, you know what, I'll trade it off you and use it. Then got the 1 Protection of Agent Venus, puts in a lot of work on this one. You basically just tribute off another fairy to destroy a card on the field, and this one puts in a bit of work. Tricks of Bloom, which is kind of like the equivalent of your Coolia. I did like the idea that a lot of people were playing is you play the heavy polymerization, and then you can either play 3 of the Fusion Fairy monster, I can't remember what its name is off the top of my head, but it's like the level 2 ready fusion target, which basically just does 0 attack. Or you can play 3 of the level 10 Time Lords, and the other is you just play heavy polymerization. You'd send those 3 from the extra deck to graveyard, you get access to the first Darklord, and you build on from there. I only got 1 Time Lord, I have bought 2 more copies to give it a try, and it was a nice little aggressive option. Then we do have 1 Samurai Great Almirage. The idea with this one is I turn a Jehuti into an extra deck monster, activate contact, bring back Jehuti, go into SP Little Knight. Very niche scenarios, but that's kind of where it came up and played for me. For the other Link monsters, got 2 Herald of the Mirage Light. You don't need to play 2. I played 2 because right at the end, I was like, I've only got 14 cards on my extra deck. Do I want to play Loose, or do I want to play the Mirage? And I just played a second Mirage, but honestly, it could be a second Condemned. Ultimately, if I want those 3 slots, if I was playing heavy polymerization, I would probably look at these 3 here. But like I said, this engine is great for going first, just not so great for going second. Then for the only XYZs that I play is the 1 Superstar Slayer Typhon. Just that I actually summoned this quite a lot today, but being able to go cool, SP Little Knight, banish, summon, and then go. Because what you got to remember is The Horus cards are really annoying because they're like anytime a card leaves the field via an opponent's card effect, do something. So that was quite an interesting one to go for. And I think it might have been the Fiendsmith Goblin Bikers, and also against the Fiendsmith Elf Knights as well. I had to summon this. The 2 Fallen the Virtuous targets, 1 Ecclesia and 1 Albion. Not much more needs to be said about those. And then for the Darklord cards, 2 Even Star and 1 First of Darklord. I never was in a position where I felt I needed a 3rd Darklord Even Star, and I was never in a position where I felt I needed a 2nd, the 1st Darklord. But maybe that becomes more relevant if I do play the Heavy Polymerization lineup as well. Moving on to the side deck. So as already mentioned, I was on 3 Nibiru, 3 Perulia, and 2 Droll. I then decided to go for a Triple Tactics Thrust side package. So I played 2 Triple Tactics Thrust, and then the targets over the back of this was different dimension grounds if I wanted to take away my opponent's graveyard, Eradicate a Virus if they were on heavy spells or heavy traps, so Radiance, the Black Goat at the last to give you a bit of a bridge to hit you any of those rogue matchups. Tried out Evenly Matched and Lightning Storm, but never saw them, never needed them. So maybe these can become a 3rd Triple Tactics Talents or a Thrust or something else if you wanted to. Maybe even Harpy's Feather Duster. But I like that Lightning Storm was one or the other kind of vibe. Yeah. So that is pretty much it for the entire deck. Now let's get into the important part that you've probably all been waiting for, and that will be our mini OTS tournament pack opening. Now this is OTS 21. Do not ask me what ultimate rares are in this because I would have no idea off the top of my head. Start with Mischief and Gnomes. That was a pretty good reprint back then. So was Mud Dragon as well. And our Black Feather counter. I mean, there could have been better tokens, but we kind of take it. OTS Tournament 3. I finally remember what the 3rd ultimate rare in here, and it's Nash Knight. So it's Nash Knight, Typhon, and Tracer Dragon. Focus. Assault Mode, activate. Lightning Vortex, nice. Chaotic Elements, that's not bad. That's another nice little upgrade. Put that over there. Yeah, I mean, overall fun locals. My other option that I was considering playing was the Pumpkin King, but I let you guys decide what I played. Oh, another Lightning Vortex. So I let you guys decide what I was going to play. Generation Force. The Starham. Okay. And I have no issues with it. To be fair, if I had a bit more time to re-sleeve my Pumpkin deck, I probably would have played that. Like when the locals started, I was like, that could be really fun to try out. Assault counter, Assault Mode activate, and Crystron Skeletus. I don't mind that, nice little upgrade for Krystrons. And our final pack. So what I'll do is I'm not too sure what I'll play on next week's locals, but we'll give it a go. Bosch Ross, Magnet Circle level 2, special on a level 2 or lower machine monster from your hand. And then, oh, a second Crystron Skeletus. I'll take that, not bad. Overall from my OTS 30, I don't have many super rares, so Chaotic Element and the Skeletus are nice upgrades. So's a Star Hand, but I didn't play Yummy, so I'm not sure how. It might be good in the future against like other discard cards, especially on a monster from the grave that was used as material for this Synchro Summon card. If you do, it's treated as a tuner. If this card's in the grave, you can discard 2 cards, especially on this card, but banishment leaves the field. Maybe that would be pretty good in Synchrons, right? So like, you'd have to play TG Hyper Librarian just to draw again, but that could be kind of cool. Anyway. That is it for the entire video. I'm sorry this wasn't like the previous locals experience. This is probably like more like a deck breakdown or a deck profile, but hopefully in a bit more detail as well to give you everything you need to know. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe and of course, happy dueling.